Hello everyone. So in today's class we are doing marketing management, and in this I'm going to discuss today the functions of marketing. So before starting this I would like to say something about marketing and selling. See, we have seen earlier that marketing is much wider concept than selling. Selling starts after the production is done. That means the products which are all manufactured, they are sold in the market, and the main aim of selling is to generate revenue. But marketing is much wider than selling. Marketing starts much before production and it ends after the selling of the product. There are something which we have to do after the selling of the product also. So when marketing actually starts before production, means that we have to do market research, because the main motive of marketing is to get satisfaction of the customers. Now, how we will get the satisfaction of the customers? When we know the needs of the customer. And for knowing the needs of the customer, we have to first do market research. We have to know what are the needs and want of the customers which are not satisfied, or what they want from the existing product. Then only changes can be made in the existing product, or a new product can be introduced in the market depending upon the needs and want of the customers. So before production, what we have to do in marketing, we do market research to know the requirements of the customer, and on that basis products are manufactured. So when market research is done, the company comes to know about the requirements of the customer, and accordingly products are manufactured. And after producing that product, we have to sell it. That is the selling part. Okay, we have to sell that product to the customers, and then after selling, one more step is there, that is customer satisfaction. You have to give them after sales services also. We have to take the feedback of the customer, whether they are satisfied or not, what they want. If there is any problem in the product, we rectify, we listen to their grievances, their suggestions. So this is all the part of marketing. Now when we will see this step by step, so these are the 12 functions of marketing. Starting from the first one, it is gathering and analyzing market information. Means what? We have to identify the needs of the customer. So we start gathering the information, and then we analyze market information. So we do SWOT analysis. You should know about this. It is strength, this is weakness, this is opportunity, and this is T for threat. Now in this gathering and analyzing market information, we have to see the needs of the customers, and we have to do SWOT analysis. Now after getting the information, after analyzing it, the company does market planning. That means whatever objective is already set, now we have to plan how to implement and how we are going to perform, so that we'll be able to achieve the marketing objective. Now here also SWOT analysis is done. Now strength and weakness is in the company. Now company, they analyze their strength and weaknesses, and what opportunity and threat is there in the environment, that they have to analyze. So market planning is done. Then the next step is product designing and development. Now after planning about their steps, how they are going to how they are going to perform the task so that objectives are attained. Now they will start doing the product designing part. Designing means we have to determine here the quality of the product. That means what will be the quality of my product, what will be the design, the shape, the size, how many models will be there, and how we are going to make our product better than the competitors one. Okay, now this designing part is there, and then we have to develop the product. Next comes standardization and grading. Standardization means we have to maintain quality standard so that uniformity is there. Now, two things I am saying: quality standard, maintenance of quality, and this will lead to what? This will lead to uniformity of product. Okay. When some standards are maintained, now there are some quality standards which are set, and when the company manufactures the product based on those standards, then quality is assured and there will be uniformity in the product. That means consistency will be there. The customer will get consistent product. So this is the benefit of standardization. Now comes grading. Grading is what? Grading is classifying. It is classifying the product on certain basis. Like you can classify the product on the basis of their size, their shapes, etc. Okay. Now this is generally done in agricultural products. Grading is generally done in agricultural products. That means where standardization is not possible, we grade, we classify the product on the basis of their size. Like you can classify rice on the basis of their size, their quality, their shape. So that is grading. So it is generally for agriculture product. Now after standardization and grading of your product, next is packaging and labeling. Now packaging is what? It is clear from the name itself, giving a packet, a wrapper to a product. Now we cannot sell a product as it is manufactured. Like we have to give it a packet. We have to wrap it in some packet. We have to give a covering to it. That gives protection. Okay, and that attracts the customers also. A very good packet of a product attracts the customers. So packaging and labeling, it is actually called the silent salesman also. Okay, it is considered as silent salesman. If the packet is very attractive, the customer will automatically get they will purchase those products which are very nicely packed, and labeling is giving information about the product. Not only the product is well packed, but all the information are given on that packet. Means like if you are purchasing a food item, it is given on the packet, the date of manufacture, the expiry date, that green and red dot, whether it is veg or non-veg, then what are the ingredients. Like in Maggi, you have seen how to cook Maggi, and what are the benefits of it. Like if you take the packet of any toothpaste, you'll see that it protects your teeth from 10 teeth problems. So these are the benefits. So it's a kind of silent salesman. We take the product and see what are the features there, what are the benefits you are getting from that particular product. So that is packaging, giving a packet or wrapper to a product, and then giving information about the product, that is labeling. Then comes branding. Now we can sell a product by its generic name. Generic name means this is a marker. So this is the generic name. It is a temporary marker with which we write on whiteboard. Now this is a DOMS marker. That means this is a brand or a name given to a product. Okay. So we can sell, suppose a company is manufacturing car. It can sell the product by the name car, but for a brand is given or a name, specific name is given to a product so that the customer will identify that product. Okay, suppose my marker is very smooth, writes very well. So how I will tell other teachers that okay, this marker is very good. If it is sold only by the name marker, I cannot tell anyone else. How they will recognize, identify the product in the market. But when I say DOMS marker or Chorus marker, or there are different companies which are manufacturing. If I take the name of any one company and I'll say the marker of this particular company is very good, that means it will be easier for others to identify the product. Okay, so that is branding, giving a name to a product. Here we give name to a product. Now next is customer support services. As I said, in selling, the producers are the kingpin of the market. But in marketing, the customers are the kingpin. They are the king of the market. So you have to, and the main focus of marketing is customer satisfaction. How a customer will be satisfied? You have to provide them support services also. That means a person who has purchased, suppose a customer has purchased a microwave from your company. Now a technician will go, he will install that, and he will tell you how to use a microwave oven, and he'll tell you how things, how food is cooked there. 2-3 items he'll give a demo, and whenever there is problem, you can call. You have a helpline number, you can call, and an expert will come and tell you how they will solve your problem. So that is customer support services. Okay, you have to listen to the customers, and a satisfied customer always add more and more customer to your company. Okay, so this is what customer support services. Now next is pricing of the product. See, this is a very important part, because the price which the customer is ready to pay for a particular product depends on the value he is receiving. Okay, for a teacher, a pen is having so much value that he is ready to pay 10, 20, 30, whatever is the price of a particular pen. Now, and our customer is very price sensitive. Suppose I am getting this marker for 20 rupees in market, and the other company is selling a particular marker for 19 rupees. Then I will say, okay, I'll take 19 rupees marker. So even a small change in the price, it affects the customers a lot. The customer will shift from your product to the competitor's product. So pricing is very important, because customers are very price sensitive. Then comes promotion and selling. Now what we have to do, we have to promote our product in the market and sell it. Promotion means giving information about your product to the customer. A new product is launched in the market. How we come to know about it? We come to know about it through advertisements, okay, or through now social media is also there. So many methods, so many ways are there by which we come to know about a product. So you have to inform the customer that this product is being launched, or this product is available in the market. So that is promotion, and then you have to give them some benefits, buy one get one or whatever it is. So buy one get one or discount, or there are so many ways of promotion. So you have to give information to the customers about the product. Okay, now you will start selling the product. Next is physical distribution. 10th function is physical distribution. This means, see, the product is manufactured at a particular place and it is sold to customers at different places. So we need this physical distribution. That means the goods are distributed. Okay, the goods are distributed. Here we have to see the channels of distribution. Channels of distribution. Now how you are going to distribute? We can distribute the product either directly, direct marketing is there, or we can have intermediaries in between, means middlemen who will help in this process of distribution. We can, as I said, we can sell the product directly to the customers, like Eureka Forbes is an example where the representative of the company, they move door to door and they sell their product. That is direct selling. And another example is Amway, which is selling the product through their distributors, own distributors, then through their own members. And then we can have the authorized dealer of Maruti cars. They are the middlemen in between the company and the customer. So that is one level. So that is channel of distribution. How many middlemen will be there in the process of distribution is physical distribution. Next comes transportation. Now transportation is, it removes the place gap. Place gap is removed. It bridges the gap between this two places. That means goods are manufactured at one particular place and it is distributed widely. So we need to transport, we need to move the goods from one place to another, be it by railways or ship or by roadways, any ways of transportation we will use, and we fill this place gap by transporting the goods from one place to another and making the goods available to the customers. The last one is the storage and warehousing. Now, whenever goods are produced, that is not consumed immediately, isn't it? We have to store the goods for future use. The company it never happens that the company is producing the goods and it is sold immediately in the market. You have to store it. So here this time gap, there is a time gap. Okay, there is a time gap between production and consumption of goods. So this gap is filled by storage and warehousing, where the goods are produced and it is stored and it is sold as and when required, and it is distributed to the customers when there is demand, but it is produced and stored. We cannot immediately produce and sell all the products manufactured. There is a time gap between production and consumption. So these are the 12 functions of marketing, which is very important, starting from gathering information from the market. Then we plan accordingly on the basis of gathered information. Then we design the product, standardization and grading is done, packaging, labeling is decided, how to pack the product, how we are going to give information. Then we give a name to the product. We have to arrange for customer support services for satisfaction of the customer. And then we will decide the price, the promotion and selling is to be done. Then physical distribution, making the goods available to the customers, by transportation, and storage and warehousing. So these are the 12 steps in the functions of marketing. Thank you.